So, on last week's episode, we began with Finn jumping atop the necromantic dragon finger and taking damage from it as he was trying to stop it from getting away, while Zereth used his fleet-footedness to run to the Sir Isaac, the captain of the guard, and get him to come, because that was damning evidence that would help exonerate us. By the time they got back, however, the Castor had thrown a blanket over it to try to slow it, and it had disappeared into a poof of smoke. That led to Sir Isaac not believing us, thinking we were doing smoke signals and being idiots. And Castor used detect magic, saw the necromantic energy going into like the woods outside of town. He was able to follow a path of it. And with that, he decided to go out. Zereth basically thought they would give up on this endeavor and said, okay, we'll see you at the bar in 10 minutes. Callisto and Finn had followed Castor out into the forest, whereupon they found some sort of ghoulish undead creature that was very, very, very tall. The battle was hard fought, but in the end, Finn perished to a strike from the undead fiend. Castor, in one last gasp of whatever he had left, he intimidated the thing away using his angelic form. Brought Finn's body back to town. There was lots of words exchanged between party members. Lots of feelings were going on. In the end, they took his body to the temple to have it readied for burial, where Castor prayed, Zereth comforted Callisto, and then Zereth comforted Castor after he was done praying. In the church, they were given the resurrection crystal back and the clairvoyance crystal, because Marcia said she could no longer hold them because the government would try to use them. With that, they all left. Soot was in an alleyway praying to the god of death to grant Finn a proper judgment, I think is the word. A proper judgment, and ended up meeting the god Harvestrum, the god of death, who basically told us that somebody was following us. To end the episode, Finn was inside the crystal with some female character who told him that he could either move on now or he could have the chance eventually to help save his friends. And he chose that he would stick around until his friends needed him. He tried to send a message to his friends unsuccessfully, but was managed to send one off to his brother. And then they played Yahtzee, I believe it was. And that is where we ended the episode.
All right, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Oh my god, my voice just broke like it was a tween. You didn't hear it? Like,
No.
Oh god, it was
Sound
bad.
fine to me.
That'll be an outtake later. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's start with Z-Man Ultra.
All right, I'm Chris. I'm playing Zereth, the human monk. He's finding his footing as part of the leadership crew in the guild, and he's having a hard time figuring out how to piece everyone back together after this loss.
All right, let's go ahead with Izzeay.
Howdy, I'm Izzeay. I'll be playing Martha, your resident dwarf cleric. She is also not okay.
Let's go with Jace.
Hey, I'm Jace. I play Soot, the human fighter, who is distraught, to say the least.
Castor.
Hi, I'm Maxwell Rodeo, and I play Castor Sideris, your guilt-ridden grave cleric.
Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I play Callisto, your, just like everybody else, extremely distraught tiefling druid.
And last but not least, returning to the cast, like he ever left, is Dust.
Hello, I am Dust, and I don't know about everybody else, but I'm feeling great.
Yeah. We all have our moments.
Just a few.
Just a few. So, I'd like to start up with, at this point, everyone is woken up. It's been a late night. It is late evening of the 14th of Botorum. Last of the month. And we are already starting off at around 2 p.m. due to our late night shenanigans. I'll let you guys take off from here.
Well, I think first things first, Soot is gonna get up from laying down in the alley, kind of stretch their legs out, and kind of begin wandering around to try to find anyone else since they wandered off on their own.
First person he would find would probably be Zereth. Zereth was last episode Zereth was looking for Soot for a very long time, but was unable to find him. In his sleeplessness, he probably wandered into Soot in the middle of the street.
Where is everyone else? Is everyone else okay so far?
To my knowledge, they all went to bed. I believe the last I saw Callisto and Castor, they were heading to the Jungle Vi. I'm not sure where Martha ended up after her binge at the Ales Horizon.
Okay.
It looks like you didn't get any sleep either.
No. I did have an interesting conversation, though, which I'd like to bring to the attention of the group. Would you mind finding Martha? I need to go and speak with Castor, to be honest.
That's great. I have something to say to the group as well. Shall we call a formal meeting?
We can all get some food going at the Jungle Vine. He said I'll get us something ordered so we can eat and get something in us to have this meeting.
Okay, take care of yourself. I'll go get Martha.
Right. And so it's gonna not jog, walk off to the Jungle Vine. And presuming they get there okay, is going to look for Castor. I don't know if Castor went off to sleep or if he's still in the downstairs.
Castor would be in the room, probably sitting on the floor, probably with a stick of incense burning, and probably crisscross applesauce.
Okay. There will be a knock at your door. Or are you and Callisto sharing a room, or did y'all get separate rooms?
They're sharing a room. I think I'm taking the bed.
Yeah, Callisto was taking the bed. I think she was trying to get out, though, early in the morning to go plant shopping, if I recall correctly.
I was thinking about it. I think I would be waking up around this time. So Callisto would probably take 20 minutes and just stare at the ceiling, trying to process, and then get up, get dressed, and walk out the door, and would probably run first, head first into Soot.
Okay. So it's gonna kind of lightly place a hand on Callisto's arm. I guess I can. Hey, I'm on camera. I can do the motion. We're going to have a group meeting in just a bit. Whatever you're doing, just be back in about 15-20 minutes.
Oh, sure. I can stay here if you want. Would that be easier?
Whatever you need to do, if it needs to be done, do it. But this is an important group meeting. I'll leave that up to you. And then Soot is just going to keep on walking past and just go upstairs, because I presume they saw Callisto coming from downstairs. So Soot's going to just kind of take the initiative and go upstairs.
Callisto is just gonna awkwardly walk downstairs and get a tea or something at the bar and just hang and wait.
Martha is at the bar and she is shit-faced, face on the bar, drooling, surrounded by cheap booze.
Jason will meander. Zereth, you first?
Zereth will walk into that site and be a little horrified, not morally, but just knowing that we're supposed to have an important group meeting. He's going to sit on the stool next to Martha and flag over the barkeep. And he's going to ask, this is my friend. She's not in a very good condition. Do you have any sort of perk 'em up?
Perk him up?
Like coffee or something stronger? I know the Jungle Vine is famed for their magical drinks. Maybe you have
We do. I've got one, but you're probably not going to like it.
Well, she's a dwarf. She has a very hearty stomach.
Pickled eel and radish stew. Coming right up.
Martha.
And she jumps up and falls back out of the chair, laying with a thunk on her back.
Oh, I'm gonna jump down with quick reflexes and pick her back up.
Was this?
Is there a table with chairs nearby?
Yes.
As opposed to a bar stool. He's going to lead her over to the chair immediately. Basically, walking on his knees so that he can get her arms around his shoulder. And he's going to lead her to a table and sit her down at the chair. And Martha, I don't mean to talking softly, so that any hangover might not be quite so violent. Martha, we need to have a group meeting. I've ordered something for you to perk yourself up with.
Her eyes are super squinted, and she's kind of flinching away from even candlelight, and she's like, a meeting?
Yes.
What?
Just keep your eyes closed for now. The food will be here shortly. I know you probably don't feel like eating, but this is sure to make you feel a bit better after a bit of unpleasantness.
The cheap booze tasted like piss.
I bet.
Am I watching this happen as I come downstairs?
Probably.
I think this is a different inn, actually.
Oh.
Yeah,
This is
Martha
a
went to
inn
the
for eyes.
Martha
That's
went
fair.
to the alcohol inn, and we went to the food inn.
You right.
So, my next priority is to get the soup into her. So, however, whatever rolls need to be made. I'm sorry, Martha. I'm force feeding you a con save.
Oh, if you put food in front of her, she'll just try and swig the whole thing down. I'm guessing con saved still.
I mean, it's up to you. If you're hungover, probably a con save.
Then yes.
Serious hungover. That's a 9. That ain't holding.
Can I use medicine to try to aid a save? Pat her on the back,
Rubber throat.
back.
It would give her
Dog.
advantage. At 9 would become a
12.
12.
I'll do that. Do I need to roll anything, or can I just help her get it down? Okay.
Oh, that's fine. So you're just kind of like patting her head and rubbing her belly.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, she'll eventually get it down.
Oh god.
You don't feel good, I will say. It does not feel like something you wanted. Never does. But if things were to get worse, it will. The gentleman spoken to earlier will come out with a large steaming bowl of what smells like hot pickle juice with red sauce and a little bit of garnishing of parsley to the side of it. And in dead center of it is a full fish, head and all, eyeballs not even removed. Now put that down in front of you. Here you go.
Can't be worse than whatever the hell he fed me. She'll slurp it down.
All right, go ahead and give me a Constitution save with advantage. 12, 13, 14, 15 altogether. Really good. It is not the greatest thing you've ever tasted. Far be it. But it does make your stomach feel better. If I had to describe it in flavor, if you've ever tasted that really, really like pickled sauce to the point where like somebody's added sugar to this thing. Now make that warm in the microwave and then shove tilapia in it and let that simmer for about a day. Then recook it. And that's what you're dealing with.
Could have done without the fish, but
Part of the recipe.
she'll just sip a bit more of the soup, then just sort of lean back. Okay, you mentioned a meeting. What for?
Just a general guild meeting to go over everything that's happened. We can sit for a bit while your stomach adjusts, but I think Soot is going to take a little bit over at the Jungle Vine. Like I said, we can sit and then make our way over there.
No, might as well start moving now.
All right. And I'm helping her over to the Jungle Vine.
Alrighty.
Okay. So, Castor, you are going to hear a light knock at your door.
Who is it?
It's Soot. We're having a meeting in probably about 15 minutes if you want to come down. May I come in?
Of course.
Thank you. So Soot will open the door and gently shut it. What is Castor doing? Like, where is he?
Castor is sitting on the ground. There'd be a block of incense burning by him. He's probably doesn't have his prayer book on him. He's probably just sitting there, and he probably again has his holy symbol in his hand, and he's like thumbing through the black pearls, kind of like a rosary almost.
Soot is going to sit down on the floor, kind of across from Castor, and hold out their hand in like a "I want to hold your hand" manner. Like, will you take my hand?
Castor will hand him the holy symbol.
Close enough. Castor, I've got to say this before I lose my nerve. It's your fault Finn died, and you need to accept that. I don't want you to take the blame for it, but I do want you to take responsibility. This is on you, and honestly, it's on Callisto too. You both knew what you were doing was dangerous, and you went off anyway, without backup, without me. You let your convictions get the best of you.
Want an apology? Okay, I'm sorry. You want me to hurt, feel remorse, take responsibility? Believe me, I am. Callisto had nothing to do with this. Finn died because of me. Callisto almost died as well. All because of me.
What if none of them had come with you, though? What then? Would you have gone off without them? You would have been dead out there. Just all on your own. No one would have known. We all have our missions, Castor. Believe me. We all do. But if you let your convictions rule over you unchecked, this is exactly what happens. Someone gets hurt, there's a disaster, someone dies, or God forbid worse.
Then it would have been me. I would have died, and he wouldn't have. Because of my zealous convictions, I killed one of my closest friends. I won't ever again let my convictions put my friends in danger, even if it means forsaking my faith.
Castor, this isn't about forsaking your faith. This is about you learning from all of this. This is about Finn. You are going to carry this. This is going to weigh on you. It's going to weigh on your soul. And it should. This is not a small mistake. But you are going to take this weight. You are going to take this pain, and you are going to let it make you better. Because you have to. You will not make this mistake again. You cannot. If you do, you're out of the guild. And that goes for anyone, including me.
I have been trying to get better, but before this point, I didn't know what friendship was, what love was. Gods, I don't even know what I am. I understand where you're coming from, Soot. His death will haunt me for the rest of my days, and with my luck being this angel, I'll live for a very long time. So if you want me to carry this, to hurt for what I did, Soot, I likely will, for a very long time.
That's all well and good, but you know this isn't the end of it either. This isn't just on you. I'm coming to you first because I believe that you are the primary reason that this happened, but Callisto is also responsible. She could have stopped you. She could have said something. She could have gotten us from the bar or anything.
This has nothing to do with Callisto. She followed me out there so I wouldn't die alone. Same with Finn. And she has enough on her plate without you throwing blame her way. So focus your anger on me if you must. But leave her alone.
Fine. I'll do that as a favor to you. The original thing that I came in here for was to tell you that there's a meeting in 15 minutes, and you're going to be there. So it's going to hand Castor back the beads, stand up, walk downstairs.
Where? Castor will stop him before he gets out. Where's the meeting?
Downstairs. I apologize for not telling you.
I'll be there.
After a short while through the evening, after getting everybody together, you guys will find yourself in the tavern. It's getting a little bit late. The sun is getting a little bit dimmer in the sky. It's not as bright as it was this morning, but still some sunlight left. We find ourselves in a quiet corner just near the fire.
Okay. Is everyone here relatively accounted for? Present, at least?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it looks like it.
Wonderful. Okay. So, new guild meeting, just so we can get our priorities straight. First things first. Obviously, we have suffered a loss. New rule. We cannot split up like that again. There may be times where it will come for that, but we need to stay together as a group. And we are stronger like that. Is that amenable to everyone?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Sure.
Second
Who are you?
off, I'm Soot. And Soot will extend a hand
there's
to
Soot.
Jason.
Oh,
That's me.
Hello.
I assume
I'm-
this is something. So it's gonna kind of like look around. I assume this is something to do with like something like that. This is a side effect.
He's forgotten quite a bit.
Okay, we'll work on it. Okay, so the second thing, I have something to confess. I think we should all stop having secrets, or at least as many. I'm going to go first. My name is not Soot. Well, it is Soot. Don't call me anything but Soot. My name is Leovold Hogane. I am the son of the mayor of Lorebrim, Bishop Hogane. He is responsible for the summoning of Zolom and bringing him into the material plane, and I bear some responsibility for all of this. Okay, that's about the reaction that I expected.
That's hardcore.
Thank you. That's...
Martha
I
will
suppose that
very
is-
gently smack him upside the head.
Yes, I am... If anyone ever wondered why I was able to buy so much stuff, that is the easy explanation. It's quite easy to have a lot of gold when you just kind of ransack your father's house on the way out. But... Zer, my friend, you also had a stake in this meeting. Would you care to speak your piece?
Yes, well... And he stands up from his bar stool, and he looks at every one of you, including Jason. But he's kind of gives like a queer eye to like if it's gonna mean anything to him. Nevertheless, he starts. When I lost my hearing 2 years ago, I thought I'd never hear again. But in the last week or so, I've done a great deal of listening that I never thought possible. I know we're all plagued by demons, literally and figuratively, and hardships that we want to go off and solve by ourselves, but that's not how guilds and friendships work. He'll start to pace a little bit back and forth as he continues to speak. We need to come together on what leadership means to our guild. Now, I haven't commanded any legions or signed any war pacts, but I know something about relationships. Maybe other guilds work differently, but I don't see leadership here as a supreme law. He's going to motion to Soot, and he says, I think Soot and I have been working really hard to hear everyone's individual needs and opinions. From there, we come up with a route that lets us support each other in a way that achieves as many of those goals as possible, safely and responsibly. He kind of scratches the back of his head and grimaces. The thing is, when we do reach these decisions, we deserve the same respect of being heard from everybody else. And if a directive isn't fair, we all know that we can talk about it. Both sides are give and take, and it's not competition. It's balance. I think if we had a bit more balance, Finn's fate could have been avoided. We don't have that right now, but I'd like us to.
That note, if I may, Zer, does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say? Any grievances, any thoughts, any plans or wants or anything? This is the time to do that, to say that.
You see Martha fidgeting with her glass.
I think we all have a right to ask each other as friends. Martha, I hate to put it so poignantly, but even you can't hide these connections to the Skull Keepers. Don't know who they are, but however tenuous the thread may be, we all know you've lived a long and colorful life beyond our measure, perhaps even collectively. But eventually, you will have to consider that this will have to be divulged soon. For our own safety, perhaps.
Matthew used to be with them for a while, even after we got married. They took him under their wings, as it were, when he was young, and he was quite loyal to them until I guess I stepped in. They weren't too happy when he left.
And what are they?
Corey, what were they?
Corey, you're muted.
You're
So the Skulls aren't great people. They have a really bad reputation. One, they're almost down there impossible to find, but if you do, you're supposed to run. They're a legendary guild that aren't technically legendary, because they're not supposed to be in the books. Because they're illegal. So, let your mind wander with that.
They are a guild, as you can tell. A guild of mostly like-minded people to Matthew. I wouldn't say like-minded. Likely skilled. Necromancers. People who did questionable things and had questionable morals.
I don't think we need to be afraid of these questionable things if we're going to confront them. That's a bold statement. But I think fretting over Jason and your husband...
They were necromancers.
It can no longer take precedence over the guild. The guild is definitely less important than family, I understand. But we need Commander Mum to rid this from your life, and ours now.
Wait,
And wouldn't that be grand to accomplish with friends?
I hold up a hand. I'm sorry, Zereth, to interrupt you. Jason, what was that?
The Skulls, the necromancers.
You know that as a fact. You remember that?
I looked at the sigil. It's within the sigil. It's purely necrotic and necromantic in form. It's something to do with raising the dead. You can even see it with the skull there.
Okay, so this is an interpret. Okay, I thought you had like a flashback of memories from before or something. If this, okay, that's
Memories? No, please. If I have them, let me know.
same. That goes both ways, Jason.
Wait, sorry, where is he getting this?
He's holding the.
They left like a note, and I assume it's like
Martha
he's
burned
talking
I
about
thought
like the
Martha
design,
burned that.
like the
Yeah,
symbol.
threw that in the fire, so Jason did remember it.
Well, Jason
Oh.
fished it out the fire.
Oh, well,
Oh,
so
for
didn't know
God's
that.
sake.
Okay. Okay. So
Not the first time Jason's put something back together like that.
I think
Yeah.
what we need to do is to have a plan of what we are going to do going forward, unless there's anything else that anyone needs to say before we move on to that.
Martha
I-
drums her fingers and seems to hesitate for a moment. Well, I'm just worried. And honestly, it's not just because of my husband or that he is my husband. The reason I'm so adamant to getting to him soon is I'm afraid he did something really, really bad.
What do you think he did?
I think he tried to raise someone. And from what I spoke to him about, I'm not sure he did it in a good way.
Oh no.
You did say he was. You remind me again. I apologize. It's been a long night. Could you refresh my memory of where he is? You spoke to that earlier.
Somewhere in the Grangle jungle. Something has him. It's like a cranberry eaters. I
The Lotus Eaters.
thank you.
Why do you know that?
Books. He'll pull a book out with a couple of myths.
Okay.
Simple stuff. Like the Lotus Eaters aren't a hard myth,
Okay.
but
I'm just oddly enough.
they're the
Soot is
same,
becoming
but they do have
suspicious.
like folk tales.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
That's
this is a family problem, but it goes a bit deeper than that. And she's going to look over to Zer for like some sort of encouragement.
Oh, Zer's sitting down beside her with his arm around her. He's nodding as if to say, "You did the right thing."
so. My suggested plan is that I think we should, given all the evidence, we may have to skip town if judgment is not rendered quickly, and especially if it's not rendered in our favor. We cannot stay here too long. We have to move on that.
I have one more thing, just so everybody's
Oh.
covered here. Just to be fair, Callisto, and he looks to you with a smile and sympathy. You've been riding on Castor's coattails for a while now, but you've been small on your own desires. You want to return to your circle in the jungle, is that correct?
There's a deep sigh. And she says, I did.
But
To be
no
honest. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
To be honest, I wanted to. I wanted to go make sure everything was okay. But thinking back on it, it's a wonder I made it out alive. And in addition, I don't really have anything to go back to.
How can we support you?
It's a hard... I guess I might as well explain. And forgive me, this is hard to talk about.
It's all right, dear.
Thank you. I grew up in a druid commune, as all of you know. And that was always
we know
fine.
Look to Martha.
You might not have known that, my friend, but I'm
Oh.
pretty sure everyone else was somewhat familiar. I just kind of glanced at the other faces.
Jason, shush.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, I grew up in a druid commune. I have been a druid my whole life. All of that is true. Technically, I haven't lied to you all. But I should probably note that my clan, my commune, is gone. They are all dead. Everyone.
What happened?
It was my wedding night, actually. I was about to get married to the love of my life. And I went out for a walk to get my head straight, to reevaluate some things, because I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to go through with it. And I came back and the glade was on fire.
You left him at the altar?
Not on purpose.
Is Jason within smacking distance?
No, Jason's a little bit closer, like he's reading a new book.
Is he within smacking distance? Like, don't
If
be
you
rude.
wish. I mean, you could take a step and...
Just a little one. Just a little, like, the back of the head. Like, don't be rude.
Sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I didn't purposefully leave him at the altar. Ironically, in a manner of speaking, he left me when he was cut down by a figure in red. That was the last I saw of him, or anybody that I knew, up until I met Castor. I went back to the glade the next day. Everyone was ashes. All that was left was this, and she holds up her emerald necklace. That was my sister's. And my staff, which was my mother's. and these. But she just kind of throws a hand in the direction of her hornvine, which was my fiance's.
Would you like a hug?
You know what? Yeah.
Martha will give her the biggest hug.
I was raised by a god.
One more time.
So, remember when I told you I grew up in the forest? Well, I had some help in that time. Some help. I believe it was a god that Martha knows. Aldribil. But, I mean, I never saw a human form. I just met a deer with antlers. It would bring food from time to time.
With antlers?
Huh?
You said a deer with antlers.
A bear with antlers. Sorry. There were deers with antlers, though.
Those are just called deer.
Yes. Deer. But for some reason, anytime I get close to town, they'd hit me with sticks and call me an abomination. I don't know why. But I'm hoping that if I meet Matthew, he'll tell me.
Martha's biting her tongue again.
Corey, can I do some sort of check to see
Okay.
why they would call him an abomination of any sort? I haven't seen him do really
Sure.
anything
Yeah,
abominable.
could I as well, like a religion check? 'Cause
Sure.
that's a very religious term, being called an abomination. He said he was raised by a god, so
Is it alright if I do Arcana, or would it be better if I did, like, Insight or Perception or something?
Each one of those will get you something different, so I will give you your answer based on what you think. So if you
A
want to get
5.
technical and you would be like, I want to know about this, go for it. A
Okay.
religion of 5. Pretty bad. Usually to be an abomination, you'd have to have committed a grievous sins or have been born by a demon, maybe. And a medicine of 14. Most abominations in the medical sense are known as Frankensteins.
Can I
Things that
run-
have been brought back from the dead. Things that aren't right.
can I run an insight
On what?
on like why, like an insight is a role of why they would think he's an abomination? Like I didn't get much from religion, and so I want to insight, like maybe is there something I can feel or sense about him that's different?
You could try. It might not give you much. I'll let you know ahead of time.
13.
13. I mean, he doesn't give off any weird smells of undead. He doesn't seem to drink the blood of the innocent or reap the crops with bleach or kill everyone. I mean, he doesn't seem to be what you would consider an abomination.
Okay. So, all our cards are on the table. And now,
I have something to say.
I go for it.
It's confession time, apparently. Oh, God.
You all know mostly everything that I have to share, but I don't know everything about me, and I found out I could find out in Danson, so eventually I would like to go. We don't have to go now, but I'd like to know about what I am.
Okay. That is an admirable goal, and we can add that to the list. But I have a possibly rude or rude question for you, Callisto. We have an advantage. We have 2 advantages that not other groups have. We know the location, but we also have someone who has lived in the Gringle jungle. What are we to expect? And given the recent turn of events with Finn, do you think that we are capable of even making it to the Lotus Eaters or where your village used to be unscathed?
I will fully admit as I said, it's a wonder I made it here alive. Let me just ask, real quick. Who here has ever seen a dinosaur? Jason's raising his hand.
Wait, is Jason raising his hand? Oh, I was like...
No, that's me out of game. Sorry.
Okay.
I would have
read about
unmuted.
them?
The hunter
Child
is
once called
arrested.
me a dinosaur, but I think that was just an insult.
So the only thing you really know that's close to dinosaurish in the natural world that you guys live in is that around Codia's crystal there are very ancient fish, probably from the dawn of time, that still swim in that lake. But other than that, the dinosaurs came and passed.
Okay, but to be clear, there are dinosaurs that I have encountered in Greywood Jungle. Okay, cool. I was gonna
Yes.
say, I'm keeping the lore straight.
Think of it
right?
like a little lost world.
I was going to say, the hunters outside of my village routinely scrounge off the littler ones, but how big of a dinosaur do you mean?
Okay, a further question, who here has seen Greywood Jungle? Up close, in terms of the height of the trees?
Castor will raise his hand because he met you just outside of it, I think. Very, very large, if that's the case.
Yeah, they are about the height of the trees, but they're just short enough that they can hide so we can't see them. And several of them are carnivorous. Maybe we don't do that just yet, with respect, Martha, of course. I mean,
I'd be no good to him dead.
Yeah. I feel like as long as he's with the Lotus Eaters, I mean, admittedly that is not good that he is with the Lotus Eaters, but he's not going to get eaten. Unless they eat him, which is unlikely.
Very scrawny, no meat.
Okay, so given that news, I think we need to grow together as a guild, as people, and hone our skills to some degree. So I think, first things first, if I may, Zolom is a threat, and if he's after the crystal, then we need to be aware of that. And my father, gods damn him, has more information on Zolom than probably anyone else. So it's time to go talk to my dad, and Soot will pull out probably a little map and look at it. If we go a little bit around, we can hook through Tansum. Castor, relax there, maybe pick up some money, maybe see if Tansum has any libraries that might know about Zolom or the crystal, because Codia's crystal is right there, so we can learn about the crystal while we're there. Perhaps it'll have some sort of similar properties or set an expectation. Is that amenable, Castor?
Corey, if I may. Sorry, just
That's my brother's name.
I know. I'm sorry, bro.
Okay.
There probably would have been several churches to Codia's crystal in Tansum, right? Okay, so I just didn't want to say that off the cuff and be wrong about it, so...
Isn't that where the love trees are, too, Corey? Isn't that where all the big stuff is, Tansum?
Actually, the giant tree is just a little bit beyond that. It's at the edge of the far ocean, just a little bit next to Cherryton.
And then forget that.
Basically, all the churches and all the religious stuff is centered in Tansum, if I recall correctly. So Castor will look to Soot. That sounds plenty amenable to me. There are many churches dedicated to the crystal in Tansum, where we might be able to find information in our libraries and lots of knowledge is stored there.
Okay. So, does anyone else have any goals or motives that we need to do on our way? And so we'll once again kind of like put the map down and like chart the course, be like, we go to Tansum, we cut up to Blarg, and oh, god's damned, I should have called Wesley even though he's not. Wait, did Wesley actually sign the guild paper? Is Wesley officially? No. Okay, we can find Wesley because if I remember correctly through my half-sick haze, he said his father owned a ship in Blarg, and we can charter a ship from Blarg to Lower Brim, and then if you want, we can try to chart it basically into Grangle Jungle, and then just get halfway there, get the Lotus Eaters, and then the Crystal. Is that
a problem with that plan? So, if I recall correctly, Wesley said he wasn't going to wait around for us to do stuff. He was heading to his boat as soon as possible.
Oh, that's true.
But
That is not necessarily a problem. We can just meet him in Blarg.
Or we can charter Blarg, if I remember. That's where I landed once I got back from Lordbrim. That's a fishing village, so it should be pretty easy to charter a course. Just a day's ship north.
Do you think he's really that far gone?
I mean, it's only been a day, but if he has the freedom to move, he was pretty antsy about getting a move on. But we can try to catch him. We can look for him. I don't think we should leave tonight, given the state that we're all in, and given the fact that we are not allowed. Sorry, Castor.
I had another idea. Since we'll be heading that way towards Blarg and Tansum, we could stop in the Wolf's Pass Forest, and we could try to find the routes that we got set out to find for the church, and have them sent back via courier or something.
And Jason said I might be able to talk to my goddess in the forest. Right, Jason? Something about a grove.
Yeah, there's a grove not too far.
That would be nice.
I say we enjoy a night of revelry and refreshments and head off in the morning if our names haven't been cleared already.
Right. Is everyone okay with the morally dubious task, if it comes to it, of skipping town and avoiding judgment?
I think
Absolutely,
we're
I'm
being
surprised we
judged.
haven't.
We're called upon as witnesses. Callisto?
Absolutely, I'm surprised you haven't suggested it sooner.
If it comes to that, I will follow you.
Right, that's the thing I'd like to... What do you mean? What's skipping town? Like if you're awaiting prosecution for possible...
Oh, no. I was the one dead, right? So aren't you guys the one in trouble? So I could just...
No, because they technically want your corpse, and now that you're alive, that's actually a bigger problem, because now it looks even more dubious that we said you were dead and now you're not dead. So that is technically perjury, I believe. They could at least... But the point is, Callisto, to your point, I don't want to be like every other noble out there and sit there and use my position of privilege in order to avoid judgment if the judgment is fair. But this judgment isn't fair, so I will leave if it comes to it.
I just wanted to acknowledge the fact that we weren't being held for prosecution, we were being held as witnesses under suspect.
We are suspects, that's true. We are not awaiting prosecution, but the next step after being held as suspect is prosecution, so that's just what I'm expecting. Castor, you wanted to say something, I apologize.
No, you're fine. I was saying that being told don't leave town is... that's not just witness. That means we're quite under suspect. And from what Sir Isaac said to me last night before, and then he'll look down towards the ground, before we're needed here, but I don't want to be held prisoner.
Well, in the meantime, we have some shopping to do. I know I have a few reagents I'd like to get, and Castor needed a box of some kind, he mentioned.
Actually, Castor never mentioned that out loud, but
I thought there was a long discussion about it in the caravan.
there was, but that was before he, gave it back. Gave the credit. That was before he gave the crystal.
I misremembered and spoke anyway.
Oh, God damn it.
And I've actually been pouring through these tomes, and there is a ritual I need to do that will have pretty cheap reagents, but it will take some time. But we could do that. I would not say revelry is the word for what we should have tonight, given the circumstances, but we can have a celebration of life, and then we can take off tomorrow.
I would like to wait for that airplane to go by.
Sorry.
I would like to. I would like to see. I would like to see to Finn's burial before we leave.
Absolutely.
That's fair. Shall we make a ceremony of it?
Actually, if y'all can,
shall we literally make a ceremony of it?
If y'all could give me a second, if you could all lend me a little bit of money and this is me and let me see actually what does ceremony cost? Because
I have what I think might be a foul thought, but forgive me. Burial isn't customary where I come from. The guards are looking for a corpse that died in the Battle of the Castle, and we have a corpse.
Sir Isaac has laid eyes on Finn after we told him that our friend has died, so it would be a bit odd to be like, hey, also, out of character, Sir Isaac saw Finn dead.
Yeah, out of character. He came into the church.
He was just like, hey, y'all are here and it's okay, but
no, Zereth's aware, but that is assuming that Sir Isaac isn't on our side and willing to look the other way. He has a team of arcanists that don't know the better.
I wouldn't wish to do that to his body if at all possible. I would like to bury it for him.
Okay,
I'll do it.
That's fine. Like I said, burial isn't customary where I come from, so I didn't know if it was a wicked thought.
Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I do have a small update on Finn, and by small I mean rather large, and that actually brings me to another thing that I somehow forgot. Finn's soul is not in the stream and has not been judged by Hervistrum.
That's not good.
How do you know that?
Can I make a religion check on what that might mean?
Sure.
Callisto, to answer your question, yesterday when I wandered off, I went to find a quiet place to pray to Hervistrum for Finn's merciful judgment. And I spoke directly to Hervistrum himself, coincidentally.
You think?
I suppose, yes. He wasn't there, but it definitely sounded pretty ominous, and I was terrified. I was on the ground the whole time, just in case it was him.
You sure it wasn't homeless?
It was like a rough sleeper.
Like a homeless person?
I mean, unless they're very fast in both approaching and leaving, probably not.
And you got to be quick to catch food.
I mean, that's true. Also, nothing was... I have food on me, and that was still there, so... But
I just mean, like, speaking to a god, that makes you sound a little... I don't know.
Why are you levying these accusations at me and not you raised by a god and the one who speaks to gods and the other one who also speaks to gods? Why am I the one being targeted by this?
I just find it funny.
I mean, I do too, that I have absolutely no divine connection. Well, I didn't.
If anyone had to say it at the table, at least one person did. Now we can get over it and just pretend.
And in addition, I was warned by, hopefully, Harvestrum, that we are being watched. So that is something we are going to need to be wary of in our journeys.
Did he say by who?
Not that I remember. Just said we were being watched, and then kept yelling at me for interrupting a dinner date with him and his wife.
Wait, Callisto is just staring. Sorry. Callisto is just staring this entire time like Mary Poppins codfish mouth. You know, like completely jaw dropped.
Well, Harvestrum is married to Lady Pesca, I believe, and if that's what you're wondering, if that's your
No,
question.
that's...
Oh, okay, so it's not a religious question.
No, to be completely honest, I am very lapsed on my religious studies. You spoke to the god of death?
Yes.
That's pretty hardcore.
I mean,
How?
I prayed, and I guess he heard. I honestly kind of did it as a token. I didn't think anything would come of it, especially not interrupting the god of death's dinner. I am quite grateful that I made it out of that unscathed. It does change my perspective on things a bit. Not typically used to gods listening to me.
Must be nice.
To be fair to Soot, something speaks to me all the time.
That's what I was saying. I was literally pointing that out to... Obviously, something speaks to you or listens to you because you have the whole... that kind of thing. So, something that comes from that.
Out of character. I know he glows and shit, but it's still my favorite moment.
So, yes, though, hopefully we can get him on our side in the fight against Solemn. That's a very far off goal.
Out of pure curiosity, can you put in a good word for me? I have questions for that asshole.
I wouldn't call him an asshole. Please don't call the god of death in judgment of those that are dead and flow through the stream an asshole. That's not a good way to get in a good word for you.
Forgive
He's
me.
probably
I
going to
couldn't
hate
give
me.
shit about the god of death. Okay?
Listen, I'm not involved in this. I please, I'm just going to take 2 steps back just in case. But I will, to be honest, I am actually going to make this a bit of a habit and consider this an odd first step in my journey.
Martha's like biting her knuckles still. She's still kind of,
Martha is bothering you?
No, I'm fine. Big smile.
Can I insert that?
Sure.
Give me a second. I refreshed my app because I was rolling dog all night, so I wanted to get my dice reset. I got to put him in dice jail.
I mean, it is clearly a face.
Did you just put the internet in dice jail?
I put the internet in dice jail because I had rolled like a bunch of 3s in a row.
Hey, I taught you guys that.
Yes, you did. That's a old Corey trick that I've kept.
Hi everybody, you guys know me. I'm Corey. I am the Diggity Dungeon Disaster DJ. Just here at mid-roll. This episode has taken quite a while to get out. There has been so much going on, so thank you for sticking with us. Here in about 2 or 3 weeks, I will be having my baby, my wife and I. So things are about to get hectic. During that time, I'm going to try to get as much of the episodes backdated as possible. And then once we get to about episode 34, 35-ish, we have some new plans on the direction of how we'll be kind of playing this. We're tossing around the idea of going live on Twitch while still recording our audio. For those who like the podcast, we'll be playing both live, but also be posting this up on like Podbean, Google Play, and all that. We'll just be doing a little bit less editing for sound. We won't be able to put in a background sound for every situation. But we'll have our normal background sounds that I usually run while we're actually playing the game. So you'll still have that. So there's fireplace sounds, storms, kind of stuff like that. It's going to help cut down a lot of editing time, because I find myself editing for 3 to 4 to 5 days at a time. And now that we've moved to Australia, it is a bit more difficult to do. My PC isn't nearly as powerful, and things are a bit chaotic. So our plan is to have that kind of figured out here by the end of the month. I'm going to have this episode actually out by the end of the day. But yes, as of this recording, this mid-roll, we are currently in Australia and are going through all the doctor's visits to get things set up and ready. So I want to thank you guys for your patience. I want to thank you guys for being here, and I'll stop you from you guys enjoying the rest of the episode. Thank you. Dark in the foreboding dungeon. No, I'm just kidding. Just out front. So, as you guys are talking, I want to pull away from you guys. There's going to be a scene I want to do just outside. Now, a person has come into town as of recently looking for something. That person may have found his way to Sir Isaac. I'd say Sir Isaac at this point, though, is meandering his way to the inn. Seems to know that some people are there he needs to speak to. But he's giving you the whole spiel of kind of what's going on. About the attack of the dragon, the whole situation. He's going to turn just out front of the building. You'll see kind of dust kind of pick up from his boots a bit. His trench coat kind of drags a little bit. Not really quite a trench coat. It's fancier, but it's not quite there yet. We're not Wild West yet. But it's very dramatic. He's going to take a puff on a small cigar he's got. So, that's about what happened. If you're looking for them, they'll be in there. But I'd say give me about a couple minutes with them first.
That's fine. Did he mention about the death, or did he just leave that?
Oh, no, he's brought all that up. Like, full story.
Okay. Yes, that's fine. I need a little time to process what you just told me.
Well, I am sorry for the loss of your friends, sir.
Thank you.
Like I said, give me about 3 or 4 minutes, and you can go in and meet him. Or you can walk in with me. I'll just need to talk to him first. Matter of words.
That's fine. I'll walk in with you.
Thank you, sir. Right, so you guys will hear a very Wild West entrance. Sir Isaac is going to enter through the front doors, kind of like pushing them out. They're kind of heftier than that. So you kind of hear clank on like 2 sides of the wall there. It creates like an entrance. I'm looking for the Order of the Pomegranate.
Martha's going to go up and say, "Oh, go to the ladies' room." Run.
Stop that, dwarf.
Martha, would you care to sit back down, please, since we are looking directly at an officer of the law?
Yeah, Martha Blackbrick, why don't you come take a seat?
Oh, you know me.
Oh yeah, I know you.
Oh,
Who doesn't?
Fuck.
So, in the time you've been here, some crazy shit has gone on. And I mean crazy. Dragon in the center of town, people dying, royals gone, friends dying too, apparently. Not sure what the hell's going on there, but I don't understand it. But if anything, it's made me think. You guys just lost a member. How you feeling about that?
Bad.
Not great.
Castor,
It's bad. Oh. I heard it was a horrible fight, too. Heard he got sucked dry.
Castor will look away from the ground, obviously painting him to hear and recount.
Is there a point to this taunting, sir?
Yeah. Had to see if you were genuine. You don't seem to be too keen. So, in spite of no other evidence, and in spite of the fact that I truly believe you guys aren't murderers, free to go.
Can I? I'd like to make an insight check on that, if I may.
Sure.
I don't trust like that. At least not Sir Isaac. Ooh, yeah, got an 11.
I mean, he seems genuine.
Okay, that's fair. Is there paperwork or any other things we need to sign or get notarized?
Unless you murdered somebody, no. I got paperwork. You got 2 people dead, one in the surrounding area, one in town, plenty of people dead near the castle.
So
I gotta
Isaac,
type all that up. Write all that up.
So Isaac,
Yes.
I have my friend's body back so I can see to his burial.
Yeah. You can probably head over there to the meters and pick him up.
Thank you.
I will warn you, don't take off the shirt. In order to examine him, procedures had to be done, so it's not pretty. Sewed him back up the best we could.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I got a boy here looking for you guys, and he's going to motion over and tap onto this gentleman here with him. Dust, why don't you go ahead and introduce your character for us?
Gladly. You will see standing there a dark red tiefling.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just watching the reactions.
Oh, okay. I was just
Yeah.
like, and
Alex,
he's
we-
naked.
I was right.
He's a tiefling.
He's a tiefling.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Wait.
What else we got? Not just
Yeah.
tiefling.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. He dark red tiefling with horns, facing back, with having like little trinkets on them, like timepieces or like etched into the horns, with straight black hair pulled back into a ponytail that reached all the way to his back, in dark purple robes that have arcane symbols all through them, and on the sleeves of them have like an arcane circle like wrapped around the sleeves. But the thing you'll notice most is his eyes. They are light blue, but in them you will see, without the numbers, but a face of a clock and the hands of the clock moving in his eyes. He will step up to the group, and he will reach into his coat and pull out a letter. Hello. My name is Moment. I was looking for y'all. Well, more precisely, I was looking for Finn. He was.
Hate to tell you this, but
I know what happened. Sir Isaac told me what happened. He was my friend. One of the few I had. He sent me a letter talking about you all, and he knew I was heading to Pertosum to visit the Church of Lady Pesca, and he wanted to meet so we could talk about how things have been. He spoke very highly of you all, and I
Would you like to take a seat?
if y'all don't mind.
Castor will not be able to look at Moment.
Have at it. I think you're actually pretty on time, as it were. I believe we're about to. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to celebrate Finn's life with a few drinks and stories.
He would like it. He would have liked that. He was never one to. He always enjoyed a good party.
But yes, Moment. I think a few of us were going to take off and then come back in a minute. But feel free to stay a while with us. I have no objections to that.
If
I'm
does not.
I'm Soot. I apologize, and Soot will extend a hand.
He will shake his hand, and he gave me brief descriptions of each of you. I kind of know who you are, but not much. But if it's okay, could I go? If whoever's going to collect his body, could I be there as well?
Sure.
Castor, forgive me if I'm wrong for presumptions. Were you needing any funds for the ceremony?
What do you need? I can help any way I can.
About 2 gold.
Oh. Soot'll pull out 2 gold and just drop it across the table at Castor. There you go. That's
Moment will slide your gold back to you, and he said, "Let me do this. Let me pay for it. It's the least I can do for my friend."
I would prefer to pay for it if you don't mind, Moment.
Oh, I thought you needed. Okay, if you have the gold, I suppose that's fine.
I need 25 total. I have 23.
Oh, okay, then yes. Okay, then yes. We could fight. Moment, let's do 50-50. And then I'll hand Castor 1 gold.
That's fine. That works.
Okay. I don't mean to get too into PvP kind of stuff. Can I do an insight check against Moment? I've kind of been meaning to size him up since he kind of started speaking with us.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
While you do that, actually, I'd like to have a moment with Isaac and Martha. Because as they're talking, getting to know each other, talking about prices and everything like that, he's going to come around the table and he's going to pull out a little tiny scroll. I'll hand it over to Martha.
She's going to take the scroll and look at it.
You'll see a cost regimen for everything that you've stolen from Pertosum, amounting to 25,000 gold.
You know, honey, I'm sure I would be very worried about this, but I can't read. And she's going to scroll it back up and hand it to him.
Oh, that's great, but whether you can read or not, I will
Southern.
need that
He's Southern.
eventually. Oh fuck! I'm going the wrong fucking way.
You're doing so.
Right,
That's so
yeah.
good.
So, right. Well, one way or another, that's everything you've stolen from town. And even if you can't read, let me break that down for you. That is 25,000 gold you owe to the city. Now, there's no time. I'm not going to restrain you. I don't think everybody wants to know the crazy dealings their mamas went and done. But I really got to say, that metal pig's theft was really fucking weird. Anyway,
What?
I remember there was a time, it was still early, I heard the tale from an old deputy.
Which one?
Mikorf.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He was rolling downtown, and apparently he saw a metal pig running through the streets. I don't know how he did it, but is that true?
Oh, the metal pig. Okay, that's nowhere near as bad as the one I was thinking about. Sure.
Oh, they're still pissed about all the shit you broke and stole, but that's fine. I just wanted to know the truth on that one.
Well, most of that was my husband.
Well, come back with that money eventually. Don't come back until you do, or I will have to put you in jail. But I did not see you today. So,
How about this? She will hand him 1 gold piece.
I'll put it to the bill. 24,999 gold left. And he will...
Understood. We've
walk
all
out.
been quite goofy in our young years. Oh, God, there he goes. Well, I guess I can't stay in this town anymore.
So, moment. It's Zer, or Zereth, if you prefer. And he holds out his hand.
Zereth, he spoke a lot about you. You were the musician.
One of them is sort of like a mixed smile.
He said your glass blowing skills were a sight to behold.
Oh no.
What about me? Does it say anything good about me? I am Jason.
Jason, he said he wished to talk to you more. He tried to talk to you more, but things just kept happening.
That does suck, yeah. Oh well. This is not bad, right? He'll sit back down.
Castor
So-
will get up again, looking at the ground. I'm ready to go get his body. He objects, or
I think we need cake.
We can get that on the way back. But
I could make us a cake.
do they have ovens for rent?
Oh,
Well-
I'm sure I could sweet talk the barkeep, dear.
Well, I've got an
Fair.
idea, actually. And shoot me down on this. Most funerals are sad. I'm sure we miss Finn, but do you think he wants us to cry? I say, we bury him and eat cake.
I mean, that's fine. That's what I was speaking of as life. But like I said, unless it's preventable, I'd like to keep the group together. So is it okay with everyone if we make this a group trip for the ceremony for Finn? And then we can make a cake afterwards.
Sounds good to me, dear.
Wonderful.
What's this ceremony?
You'll have to talk to the Holy One.
it's an event that you partake in. If you're speaking of the spell, or if you're just speaking of ceremonies in general are an event where you get together to remember or celebrate or signify something.
Oh,
Ceremony spell it helps with the moving on in this case. I can also perform weddings and coming of age ceremonies and
ooh,
make holy
okay.
water.
Well, if we're ready, I'd like to get to it soon.
Castor will lead the way. He'll just head out.
Let's go. Why are your funerals sad?
I don't know. They just kind of put them in the ground. It's a little sad.
You lose a friend or a loved one. How's that not sad?
Well, that's sad, but that's not the funeral.
I think everywhere has a different ceremony. Up in Lorebrim, we tend to either cremate the bodies or take care of them as such that if they are brought back, that they are not a threat. Yes. Yes.
Moment at this point has just followed after Castor. He doesn't want to hear this anymore.
Oh, I assumed we were walking and talking. I
Uh,
assumed we were West Wing style.
As we're walking and talking, can I talk to Moment briefly?
Sure.
I kind of walk up beside him and say, I apologize for my quietness. It's a bit rare to see a fellow tiefling these days.
To be fair, I would say the same thing. There was not very many tieflings in Cherryton.
I'm, to be completely honest, I grew up in, well, tieflings were everywhere, so it's weird to not be surrounded with them. So they are rare in Cherryton, where you're from, yes?
I didn't see many, and to be quite honest, like now, Corey, how many would actually have been in Cherryton? Like tieflings?
10 maybe.
Yeah. I'd say it's about 10 at the most. Quite a few maybe came through as traders.
It is strange. I don't know how to put this. It's, well, I left home recently due to circumstance that I was just getting done explaining, and forgive me, we've just met and I don't want to burden you with that yet. But it's weird to me. Do people look at you weird as you're walking through the streets and treat you differently?
Yeah, they do. Well, that's mostly the skin and the eyes. They find that a little weird. As he does point the eyes, you can tell they're like the hands and his eyes are moved slower. But where are you from? I not a lot of I didn't even know there was like a community of tieflings.
Well, I don't think a lot of people knew that we existed at any time. I'm from Grangle Jungle. We mostly kept to ourselves. So it makes sense that you wouldn't know, but that's okay.
You see him look a little away from you and just be. He would probably say it infernal. Not knowing he did. I wonder if they're there.
Responding in infernal, they?
Oh, still in infernal. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's just ramblings of grief. and walk a little bit further ahead.
I let him go, and I think about that.
So, Soot is going to, I guess, because I know that Rodeo is looking for materials first. In that material shop, Soot will also be buying like some, if at all possible, or anywhere, just like some nice pieces of wood and a few, essentially bits of like random arcana, because there's a ritual that Soot needs to do that is for free. So just mechanically, Soot is just going to be looking for like random bits and baubles. And then the whole time they are doing that, Soot is going to be like, I don't know how to describe this, almost very obviously, subtly watching moment. Like, you know, in like spy thrillers, then like one spy is being followed and like stops at a magazine stall and is just like staring at their tail or vice versa. That is what Soot is going to be doing, trying to size moment up. And earlier, when Soot did a insight check and rolled a 15 to Moment's deception check of a 13, I was wondering if I could, I guess, probably ask Dust what that means. What is the vibe that Soot gets from Moment?
He was not okay having to like not be able to pay fully for his friend's funeral. Even though he didn't want to show it, it's his way of feeling like it's the last thing he could do for him.
Okay, so it's not like I just see a deception check and then I'm just like, ooh, this is juicy. This has got okay, but it's just like Moment is trying to hide guilt, and Soot can catch on to that. Okay,
Yeah.
Soot is still going to be watching Moment, and if I may, how does Moment? God, I'm going to say this word so many times. How does Moment carry himself from moment to moment?
Yay!
And the puns have started.
Yes. He carries himself. I would say now, like, very muted. Like he's not sure what he's doing. Like he's trying to figure it out as he goes.
Okay.
If that's the best way I could explain it.
Okay, so there is like in that case, sorry to keep putting stuff on you, there is almost like a facade then to Moment where like it's okay. Okay, cool. I just wanted to check. And Castor, you wanted to it's playing peekaboo. You wanted to you were buying materials. That is the shop that we are in. I wasn't sure what you were getting.
Castor's just gonna get 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver.
Okay.
Zereth is also looking for silver, but in wire form.
Okay.
I don't know how much gold worth of silver wire.
Probably give you about at least a good yard. If they had it.
Sure. Yeah. How much would that cost?
About a gold.
Okay. What else does this shop sell? Would this shop sell?
Chainmail. Some leatherworkings.
Okay.
Maybe a small dagger.
Probably looking for an alchemist.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking for some cobalt oxide.
Cobalt oxide. What is that?
It's an oxide of cobalt, the metal.
Oh, okay.
Just quickly Googling things.
No, I'm honestly
It's probably a rare metal, especially in these times.
Mhm.
And I only need a small bit of it.
Where does it derive from? Tell me that much.
Like the ore? Sure, I can
Yeah.
tell you that.
Are you thinking of cobaltous oxide or cobaltic oxide? They are different.
Cobalt is like it's like a rock, Corey. It's like a
I know that, but like, is it close to a volcano? Does it usually show up on sandy beaches in
Oh,
caves?
you're looking for
Like this.
cobaltous oxide. If my googling is correct.
It is cobalt is found in the Earth's crust only in a chemically combined form, save for small deposits found in alloys of natural meteoric iron.
It's bound with aluminum.
Ah. Yeah, I'd say there'd be some, but there's maybe like 1 bar of it.
Okay, I'm just looking for like a powder, like a vial.
Oh, okay. So you need it in dust.
Yeah. It's not really a metal by itself. It comes from a metal, but because it's oxide, it's more like a rust, like powdered rust.
Oh,
Like
okay.
it's blue.
Okay. Roll me. You know what? Roll me a 1d100 here.
Okay.
Because like I'm going into this completely blind. I'm just
Okay.
63. They're gonna have some. They're gonna about maybe 13 ounces at most.
Gosh, that's a lot. Can I have 2?
Yeah.
How much is 2?
That'll be 3 gold.
Okay, so 4 gold total. And then I'm gonna fill up my silica sand stores, which is just basic sand used for glass making.
Oh, there's plenty of sand.
Yeah.
They use it in the ashtrays around the city.
Okay,
And
that's it for me. And then I'm gonna turn to Moment while I'm like kind of shoveling it up like I would at like a bulk barn or like a bulk food store into my vials. I was so Moment, what is it that you do? Like, how do you make a living? How did you know about my musicianship and presumably Finn's musicianship? And he's talking very candidly at this point because
well, he did send me a letter about you all. Uh, I I guess you could say I work with my church. I was mostly coming through Tansom because I heard some weird rumblings there, at least my church did.
so you're a faithful fellow.
Yes, I follow under Lady Pesca for the balance.
Ah,
And I I met Finn. Oh God, it must have been almost 10 years. He, uh, he and I grew up in Cherryton before he was Finn the Bard Extraordinaire, as he liked to call himself. He was Finn the farmhand. He would come by the church, and we would just started talking one day and became friends. Truthfully, the only friends each of us had at that time. You know, he always felt like he was just part of the background. That he would put more into other people's lives than his own, just to make a name for himself, just so people would remember him. But that a lot of that changed when he first learned how to play. You should have seen the smile on his face when he first picked up the lyre.
I might have.
Can How did he meet y'all? He didn't really talk about that.
Met us in a tavern.
Say that again.
Met us in a tavern.
Tavern.
He was playing, trying to, at least, for no crowd. Maybe one person in there, other than the barkeep. And he heard us signing up to become a guild. And he thought that sounded like fun.
That does sound like him.
And it was fun. Finn and I had many a competition between us and our strings.
We had a competition as well.
Say again.
Oh, I just said he and I had a competition as well.
He may not seem like it, but he always was a competitive person. But
I believe it.
But to be fair, 9 times out of 10, he'd let you win. Because he enjoyed the smiles of people.
I'll put it to note that Castor still isn't like looking at Mo. Like, he just can't bring himself to do it. He'll speak to him, but
You're really low, dude.
Yeah,
It's barely catching you.
now better.
Yeah.
there we go.
Sorry, I had to move my mic closer because I reclined a little bit. I said Castor's still not looking at Moment. I'll put that out there that he just can't bring himself to, but he is speaking to him.
Well, I'm glad wherever he is, he has another person to celebrate with.
He sure does.
Oh, wait, who said that?
None of you are going to notice that. The only person who's going to hear that is Zereth.
He's pale as a ghost.
And let's phrase this because you haven't heard anything in forever.
Yeah, he is pale as a ghost. He visibly jumped and is pale as a ghost. In fact, he might get a little nauseous. Can I make a con save?
Sure.
Because that would have been really uncomfortable. Because he still remembers the last thing he heard and it made him nauseous.
A 63. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay. Okay, I pull myself together and I shake it off and no, I can't shake that off. I'm going to turn around to Soot is the first person I saw on the table. And I'm going to square dance with him and change places.
Okay. So we'll, I guess, change places.
Wait, what do you mean wherever he is? He should be part of the stream, the balance, right?
I guess you technically weren't here for that update. Unfortunately, no, we have heard through some sources that Finn is not part of the stream.
You will see Moment almost like angrily like walk up to you to Soot, and the if you see his eyes, the hands are now spinning very fast. What do you mean? Who said that?
Okay. I apologize for upsetting you, but it was, from what I believe, it was Harvestrum.
The god of death.
Wait, who said that one? Hello?
Hello?
Who said the god of death? Who was that? Was that Jason?
That didn't sound like Jason.
Corey voice. I didn't sound like who said that?
I
Who
didn't
said
do
the
a
god of
voice.
death? You
I
did
did
a
not.
voice.
I was not. I was
It
drinking
was
water.
Irish.
Who?
Oh, did it?
Who said that? I'm scared. We got a ghost.
I'm just fucking around. Sorry.
Okay.
I had to give us like a little bit of a laugh moment.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, don't do this. This is just news to all of us. During a prayer for his judgment last night, I somehow contacted Harvestrum, and he informed me that Finn's soul has not joined the stream, nor has he been judged.
The god of death. Told you.
Presumably, I didn't see him, so I can't say that, but I presume yes, given all evidence that I was presented.
Let's start speaking in an infernal and be like, this makes no sense, but he died. He should be with the stream.
That he
What's
should.
going on?
And Soot will reply that back in common. That he should, and that is an issue that we cannot solve. We can hope for, but we cannot make that continue.
Well, he'll just huff and start walking out. Like, just wait for y'all to finish your business and just.
Castor's done with his business. He'll
Yeah.
walk
So,
after a moment.
so it's also finished, like after checking out.
Oh,
Yep.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. At the alchemist, I imagine the alchemist might be somewhere you find a lead box, a lock box.
Yeah, probably.
Can I inquire as to how much one of those would cost?
Hey, 25 gold.
All right, sir. Here is your gold. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your business, and thank you very much
You
for
as well.
oxide.
Make sure to polish and take good care of the lock.
What kind of key does it come with?
Skeleton key. Here you go, boy. That's a really nice box.
I love how
The
all
silence
of
is
us are having
perfect.
facial reactions, but nobody
Yeah.
who's listening to this can see it.
Nobody's gonna get any of this. You know what? I'm keeping this pause in because this is.
He drops the key. And he picks it up. And Martha, what direction is the card again?
Oh, it should be down that road. Go
You need
straight
to
and
have the stables to the right too.
Yes,
thank you, Jason.
And I didn't say that with any contempt. It was just like an automatic reflex. Thank you, Jason. And then he says, I'm going back to the cart for a change of clothes. Does anybody need anything while I'm gone?
Are you?
Do you need somebody along? You don't look good.
I'll come with you. I'll come with you. Ooh, I should grab that bottle of wine out of the cart anyways.
Oh, that'd be a fabulous way to celebrate.
Uh,
That's right. Martha's a cleric, isn't she?
Martha
Yeah.
and Zer, are you sure that you are okay and that this is necessary given our talk that we just had?
I mean, he looks ill.
He does look a bit sick, dear.
How
I
far
think
is the cart? Maybe I'll just walk around outside the inn and then I'll wait to stow the box after. Is that amenable?
you just need some air, hon.
That's fine. Just know that there are guards if things get frisky. Please don't take any unnecessary risks.
I'll
Do you
just
want
be
me to
right
go
out.
with him?
Oh, I figured you volunteered and so did Martha. So
Oh, I
that's
didn't.
that's
Oh,
did
sure.
you not? Okay, that's
Well-
2 people, and that leaves us pretty well covered. Just once again, there are guards nearby. Please don't do anything risky. You know where the cart is. And you know where we will be if you need us.
Would you like a glass of cold water too, hon?
Yes, that would be fine. I think I've just had I stayed up all last night. It just must be the tiredness catching up with me.
Ah, I've had that happen before. You feel fine until the crash.
Yes, indeed. But I don't know if I'll be drinking too much tonight, but I'll be certainly enjoying the revelry if there is to be had any. I think Finn would definitely enjoy that.
All right. And when we get back, I'll see about making that cake for everyone. Something nice, big, and colorful. Just like Finn.
That's excellent.
As we're walking, I assume we're heading to where we pick up Finn's body.
Yeah, the Temple of Demeter.
Yeah. As we're walking, I would like to a moment walk up to Castor, and he will say to him, "I know you and Callisto were there when he died, but I don't know why. Why was why were you away from the city? Why he had to die?"
Castor's going to be looking straight ahead, and his lip is going to be quivering a bit. It was my fault. He followed me.
He followed you. Doing what?
We had encountered an undead dragon finger, and it poofed into smoke, and I thought I could follow it and rid the world of it. And it was something much bigger and much stronger.
And let me guess, I could tell by what description he gave of you, it was your duty to kill the undead. Am I right?
Yes.
He talked a lot about you. He
Did
said
he?
he could. Yes, he said he could see by the moment he heard you talk. You would always carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. He wanted to help you.
He was a very dear friend to me.
As was he to me.
He was my second friend that I ever had.
You're really muffled.
Yeah.
He was my second friend that I ever had.
For the longest time, he was the only friend I had.
I'm sorry.
I don't blame you.
That makes one of us.
Because you want to know something?
What's that?
He wouldn't blame you either. He would tell you that he made the decision to go with you, and he was happy. If you and her got away, he would have been happy. Because that's just the person he was.
It may have been the person he was, but because I decided to go there, we lost him. And he might not blame me for it. But that's the man he is. He's a good man. He was a good man. But I blame me.
Okay? I can see that. But let me ask you this. You said if you hadn't have gone, he wouldn't have gone either. Did you force him to go? Did you put magic on him to make him want to go? No. Of his own choice, he wanted to go because he felt it was the right thing to do. And he died still believing that. So don't blame yourself. You want to know how to make this better?
How can I do that?
Keep the ideals he had with you. Do you want to know what he told me when he said he was leaving Cherryton to become an adventurer? I told him he was the most insane thing that I ever heard from him. And I heard a lot of insane things from him. He had an active imagination. He said if I stay here, I only be able to help so many people. I want the world to smile more. Follow that ideal. Make a difference. Do better than you did yesterday.
I'm trying.
I know it's hard. To be fair, I am surprised I am as coherent as I am now. I God, I miss him.
I miss him too.
But I know for a fact he wouldn't want us to be sitting here crying over him. He'd rather us celebrate and move on and move forward.
I wasn't always one to give him what he wanted, though. He always wanted these dumb daggers that he found. Whether it was the one of the horse's jaw or the poison one, he always wanted those, and I was always keeping him from them so that he wouldn't hurt himself. That
You'll
was that was our
sorry.
competition. Our competition was that he would get that dagger back from me.
You'll see Moment chuckle, and he will reach back into his like cloak, pull out letter, like a few letters, and he will hand you one that's talking about Castor and the first dagger, of how he did not want the dagger, but he noticed like messing around with you would maybe get you more like it would de-stress you by just having something to like pick on you with.
Castor will read the note, and you'll see him actually smile, and he'll for the first time he'll look to you a moment, and he'll look up. How tall are you? You tall or short?
I think I said 5'5".
Okay, so he'll look down to you. Can I keep this?
Yes. He always knew. He was very good at reading people. He always knew what someone might need to help improve or better someone else.
Castor will fold this with the utmost care and put it in his bag. And then, does anybody have any objections? Can we get to the body?
No.
I was actually gonna do a thing, but I can do that after. So.
Oh, if you want to do a thing, go on.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody mind if I go buy a plant?
Fine by me.
Okay.
Go for
Go
it.
ahead, hon.
Yeah.
Plant for
I'm
pretty
going
easily, like 5 silver.
Okay. I'm specifically looking for a delphinium.
Delphinium.
Also known as larkspur, if that helps.
It's my birth flower.
Is it?
Go ahead and give me a 1d100.
Okay then. Hold a moment, folks. Roll20 is doing a funny. Oh, I don't
Isn't
even
it
need to open my chat.
$71. That, unfortunately, this time is bad news. So you're going to be kind of looking through most of the plants that they have on display. Some of them are very good. And you're going to see one that you think is perfect, but it's dead. Oh no, who the fuck did we... Oh, okay, Jason. But you will find a dead one.
That's ironic. I turn to the seller and say, well, I was specifically looking for delphinium, but do you have anything similar, a similar meaning of a flower? I'm kind of, I guess I'm looking for things that symbolize joy in a way. If that makes sense.
We've got the yellow poppies over there.
I'll take the yellow poppies.
There you go. He'll wrap it up for you and put like a little like yellow cord to it. Gold.
Alright, I toss him a gold. I toss him 2, in fact.
Oh, I'll take that happily. He'll take a nice kind of bite out of both of them. Just double check. You never know.
And I take the poppies and I say to the poppies, well, since I couldn't take care of your namesake, I guess I'll take care of you, Finn. And I walk out.
Okay.
My heart. Oh god.
All right, so we can enter the Temple of Demeter now?
Yeah.
All right, let's get in the Temple of Demeter then.
So after a little bit of shopping, you guys make your way down through town. You head into the Temple of Demeter, which seems very busy. Between the bodies recovered from the castle to stonework, helping people who don't have a home currently, finding a place to stay for everyone. So dozens of people kind of litter the halls of this church.
Castor will make his way through and try to find either Marsha or like a higher up.
All right. You'll probably catch Marcia as she's coming out of this office, or what you would know is basically a surgery room. Her hands have both these like wax-covered gloves on with large stains down her hands. Yes.
I was just wondering if we could collect our friend's body and his belongings.
Yeah, he'll be in the morgue, just down below.
And I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you that we went and got him.
Yeah, no, take him. He's your friend.
Thank you for everything, Marcia.
You as well. And here, in the side pocket, I'm kind of, if you would.
Castor will reach in, and what does he get?
You'll get like a little booklet. It's like a little tiny, there's like those little special ones that you get like on long road trips that always have like the specialty kind of sigil or something on them. And it's just a little tiny memorabilia, but nobody ever expects you to use them. Kind of like little mini notebook. This one is more in the signs of like a little tiny handbook. And it's called Bone Mending Potions.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marcia.
Yes. I really must go.
We'll be sure to send you the routes as soon as we can.
Good. I'll await that.
Thank you again for everything, and go tend to what you must.
She'll nod and kind of head through the hallway to a door just to the opposite side. It's not a pretty sight. People are dealing with lost limbs. It's not good in here.
Castor will make his way down to the morgue. Is the body wrapped already?
Yeah. I'd say at the most part they've redressed him.
So Castor will take a blanket out of his pack and wrap him, because it's not a sight that when he takes the body back up and out through everyone that people would want to see. And it's also a sign of respect to Finn. He doesn't want people to see him like that.
Sure. Do you
And
head on up through?
I'm guessing the desiccation has made him quite light.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like it looks, I'm not trying to be rude, but with as frail as he was, it looks like they might have broken his pinky trying to examine the body, but like it's back in place. But you can tell it's been broken.
And I'll grab like his bag or anything, or I'll have somebody else who comes with me grab his bag with all his stuff.
Most of his stuff is already in the cart.
Well,
Yeah, I can either carry him or his stuff if that would help you.
Castor will carry the body. Make sure you grab the dagger. Castor will make sure you bring that.
I can't leave that behind. And so we'll grab it and kind of walk slightly behind, but beside Castor, just in case Castor needs any help, so it can hop in.
What was the gate that we came in? Was it the south gate?
Yes, I believe so.
So that's kind of where Castor wants to go find like a nice tree or something like that, because they had spent a night kind of just outside the south gate. And
okay, it's gonna be very late at this point. Between big talk, getting information, say about 11 p.m.
Okay,
that's what we're chugging on right now. So you guys will be able to head out, but it will be nighttime travel.
That's fine by Castor, at least.
Yeah, so it's all right. I'll light a torch for those of us who don't have dark vision, which is, I believe, just me.
And Zereth.
Oh, I thought Zereth was back at the cart still.
Yeah. They're all going for the burial, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, if they came back in, yes, still okay. Then I'll strike up a torch for sure, and I'll kind of ceremonially walk with it.
Okay. See, here is actually where I would like to leave off of it for tonight. There's a few questions I'd like to ask everybody for the listeners. And all because my ankle is just killing me. And for those who have been listening, I was just in a recent car accident. So thank you for being patient with us for this abrupt ending. Hi everybody, you guys know me. I'm Corey. I'm the Diggity Dungeon Disaster DJ. Here with the outro, I just want to say a couple of thanks. Thank you to Syrinscape for allowing us to use their music. You can find in the pretty much the post everything below a link to all of the sounds that we used. It's been kind of amazing to be able to use them in our game and in our podcast, and it really just kind of allows us to step up. Sorry about that, lose my voice a bit. I also want to thank Kobold Press. We've got some things planned in the near future to add into the podcast. I've got a couple of things picked out specifically for kind of late game as well that I'm really excited to kind of share. Yeah, it's been hectic. I know I said that in mid-roll. Things have been crazy. The cast has been pretty busy. I've been busy. We've been dealing with mental health situations. We've been dealing with physical health situations. I know this has been a while since we actually recorded this, but, you know, I've probably been 6-7 months since my incident now for me. So, like, I'm healing up pretty good, but I'm probably still going to want to see a professional because my ankle does this weird click thing, which is very interesting. But otherwise, I'm doing good. Podcast is doing great. Everybody is still just as excited in the later seasons that we are in the earlier seasons. So I'm going to be working here relatively soon to start popping out more and more episodes for you guys. Especially while the baby's on the way, especially while holidays are kind of coming up, and you know we've got Easter soon, and then it's hard to figure out what to do. So with that, I want to thank you guys for listening. I want to thank you guys for continuing to come back and enjoying episodes and being here with us for this adventure, no matter how silly or weird or just downright cringy it can be sometimes. I think we're having a heck of a time. So I want to thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys next episode. But remember, keep your opportunities open.